you for selecting Morgan for induction into the Huron High School Hall of Fame this evening. As Monica mentioned, my name is Tanny Vonthron. I'm also a Huron High grad, but definitely not a member of this elite club. So this is the one time I get up here, so I'm so excited. I'm also a very close friend of the whole Landis family. Morgan is currently, as Monica mentioned, she's currently spending most of her waking hours studying for her nursing exams in Boston. And her parents also have a pretty sweet gig there in Hawaii as well, so they were not able to join us this evening either. So I get the privilege of accepting this honor on her behalf and getting revenge at the same time. I first met the Gestapo, as her oldest sister Cassidy and I have affectionately called her for the past 21 years, when she was in first grade at Woodlands Elementary at the time, and I was a junior here in high school. And I was playing on the girls' tennis team with Cassidy. I can still picture Morgan's sweet smile with a few missing teeth up front, as those little first graders have. Her hair was pulled back tight into the perfect pigtails, and they shot straight out of the sides of her head. She was the quintessential 7-year-old in the adult eyes. In our eyes, she was the true pest to any high school student. So no matter what Cassidy and I had planned, the Gestapo was always one step ahead of us. She was a pro at silently picking up the phone extension in another room and eavesdropping on every conversation. She then used her investigative skills to find all of our top secret notes that we would switch in the hallway, and they'd be hidden in backpacks or shoe boxes in the back of a closet, and somehow she was able to decipher enough with her early phonics skills to blackmail us into letting her tag along, or she would tell her parents what we had planned for the weekend. But before she was torturing Cassidy and myself, she was swinging a tennis racket. Morgan started her tennis career at a very young age of 4. The Landises were lucky enough to have their own tennis court, and when you know, her older sisters would give her a racket, have her stand on the other side of the court, and they would serve right at her. It was called survival training. Morgan began to play USTA junior tennis at the age of 8. For those of you not familiar with the USTA program, it's a ladder system where you qualify for more advanced tournaments by winning at a lower level. She first played in local tournaments in Ohio, then advanced to regional tournaments, traveling to Ohio, other parts of Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. By the time she reached the 14 age bracket, she was qualifying for national tournaments, winning the Port Washington, New York Nationals in 1997. She also played in the Miami Easter Bowl, which was an international tournament with players from all over the world. When she turned 15, her parents decided, we're going to have her play up an age division so she could learn to play against the strongest competition. So she began playing against 18-year-olds. It was a struggle at first, but after a year or so, Morgan did what Morgan did. She was qualifying for the national tournaments again. After a 3-year span, she played in national tournaments in Houston, Memphis, Phoenix, Chicago, New York City, Tucson, Detroit, Augusta, and San Jose. It's the San Jose Girls 18 Nationals that everyone strives to qualify for. This is the tournament college coaches come out to scout their potential recruits. She did win some matches before getting eliminated. However, she must have attracted some attention even in those losses. Shortly thereafter, she accepted official visits to Virginia Tech, Purdue, Denver, Boston College, and Wisconsin. After visiting all 5 schools, she accepted a full scholarship to Boston College, and once again, her father's wallet breathed a sigh of relief. Morgan played 4 years for Boston College in the number 3 singles position. If you can imagine, there was 2 people ahead of her, which I have a hard time with that. Some of her most memorable matches came in wins over Notre Dame, Purdue, and Miami. She still maintains a close relationship with her coach and teammates from that college experience. Playing for Boston College also had summertime perks. Her freshman summer, she taught tennis at the Chatham Tennis Club, located on the beach in the elbow of Cape Cod. For Morgan's sophomore summer, she ventured over to Martha's Vineyard to teach at the only private club on the island. Her junior summer took her to New York, where she gave private lessons at the United Nations Court on the 20th floor of the UN building. Then she would spend the weekends in the Hamptons, giving lessons to her weekday customers at their Hampton estates. To put her tennis clients into perspective for those of us that are from Huron, Morgan likes to share the following story. During her summer at Cape Cod, she was asked to give a lesson to a set of 5-year-old twins, and I'm the principal at Shawnee, so I see lots of 5-year-olds. But it was not at the Chatham Tennis Club, but at their private estate. She agreed, and on the designated afternoon arrived at the estate, which consisted of 5 separate homes surrounding a tennis court, swimming pool, riding stables, among other luxuries. And she was waiting on the court for her were the twins, a little boy and a little girl, and they were dressed in their freshly pressed tennis whites. The lesson went well, and when it was over, there were about 100 tennis balls to pick up. So Morgan told the twin, you know where I'm going with this. So Morgan said to the twins, "Come on, it's time to pick up those tennis balls." And the little boy did an abrupt about-face and informed Morgan, "That's quite all right. The au pair will pick them up." Somehow, we don't think that either of the twins would last long on the Huron tennis team. Perhaps Perkins, Port Clinton, but not Huron. When I asked Morgan, her fondest memories are definitely of her Huron tennis days. She did make 6 trips to state, 2 in tennis and 2 in track, but it was the good old fall of the year rivalries, Port Clinton, Perkins, and the rest of the SBC that makes for some of the greatest memories. Just ask John Camparini or Joe Taylor. It was 20 years ago that the Landis family began to play at Huron. They enjoyed 11 straight years of Huron tennis. During that 11-year span, the 3 Landis girls made 10 trips to state, won 2 state championships, 2 runners-up, a 3rd and a 4th place finish. The Landises are so grateful to the Huron boosters, the tennis coaches, the athletic department, and all of the Huron fans for the support given to the tennis program. As the Landis chapter closes this evening, I would like to say thank you on behalf of the entire Landis family.